And what's up, my YouTube people? It's Joey Bags. I'm back, and I got a video for you today. So I'm making up for last week's drought. So this will be video 3 for the day. I think this video is probably going to be like kind of a recap of the past few weeks or so. Also, as you'll see here, I'm on Automobilista 2. I'm usually on either Forza or Assetto Corsa. So I thought I'd give you something a little bit different. What you're going to see is I'm in the Corolla stock car, Brazilian stock car 2023 with Tony Kanan's livery. Shout out to Tony Kanan. You're doing good shit out there. Keep going. So yeah, let's get into it because you really don't ever get to see me in something else. So the kind of cool part that I like about Automobilista is they have this view that's from it's like helmet view. And it kind of does the little, I don't know if you guys remember Driven, where as you increase your speed, it kind of gives you like this tunnel effect. So I don't know, I think it's kind of cool. So let's kind of recap what's been happening. I think it was last week, but during ADEC, that Sim Expo, the 2023 Sim Expo, Fanatec announced 2 new bases, the CSL Club Sport, the Club Sport DD and the Club Sport DD Pro. So they announced the 2. The Club Sport DD is for PC and Xbox, 15 newton meters of torque, and comes with the QR2 ready to go, compatible with all the other wheels as long as you got the QR2 on it. And yeah, honestly, it looks super promising. The DD Pro, the Club Sport DD Pro, is the PlayStation version, which is kind of nice that they threw PlayStation a bone, because normally PlayStation gets shafted, and of course it's more expensive. I think the PlayStation version is $699, maybe $799, and the PC Xbox version is I'm not sure the pricing. I'll put it in while I'm editing, so that way I can give you correct pricing. But the cool part is it looks like the older brother, or the bigger brother, to the CSL DD, which is kind of cool. They got that, roundish, elongated design with the fins. Quite honestly, it looks good. I can't even lie. It does look good. It looks interesting. It's supposed to be, I don't think it's supposed to be a replacement to the CSL or the CSL DD. I think it's supposed to be like a stopgap. So they've got the 5 Newton meter, 8 Newton meter CSL DD. The 5 is regular. The 8 is when you add the booster kit, the booster power pack to the CSL DD. Then after that, they don't have anything else. So it's from 5 and 8, then you jump to, I think, the 20 that the Podium DD1 is. And I think the Podium DD2 is 25, I think, or somewhere around the same. So they are kind of, they really don't have an in-between. So having this in-between strength is kind of nice, and it does fall into that, where the consensus seems to be that 12 to 15 newton meters seems to be a sweet spot where, it's not too strong, still strong, but not too strong. And you still get, you keep the fidelity. You get to keep that road texture. You get to feel all the bumps, bumps, dips, curves. You keep that fidelity, so that's kind of cool. Some of the, I think most of the people that were at that expo got to try it out that day, so that's super cool. Wish I would have gone. Wish I was able to go. That would have been super cool. But I mean, it looks awesome. Will I ever get one? Unless Fanatec wants to throw me a bone and wants to collaborate and send me one for review, and I'll send it back. Not even to keep it. I'll send it back. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see that happening. So I'm gonna have to live vicariously through all the other sim tubers. They get it and review it. Unfortunately, that's probably not gonna happen for me. As is, I'm still trying to get my hands on a CSL DD Pro. You know, so we'll go with that. But it looks good. It looks promising. The fact that PlayStation gets another base and they get one that's a little bit more powerful than the DD Pro 8 Nm with the boost kit is freaking awesome. So I mean, it's good things. The end of 2023 is looking really good for sim racing. With Fanatec announcing this, that's awesome. Moza earlier in the year, well actually I think probably a few months ago, they had released the R12, which was in that sweet spot of torque range, the 12 Nm. They announced and released that KS wheel, which is awesome. I would so love it. That's actually more attainable for me to get my hands on to try out. They got that. They did release, well, they did announce, and I think partial release, the R3. So their first direct drive base, which is console compatible, Xbox compatible, not PlayStation. But hey, you know, it's something, and it's super cool. 3.9 peak newton meters of torque. Uses their ES wheel. You can do that upgrade or the Formula GT style rim that they have that goes for the ES wheel, so you can get a cool little package there. So that's awesome. Some of the other high-end manufacturers, I'm sure, who is it? I can't think of the P1000 pedals that, you know, are out. That's not in my price range, so, you know, those are ones that I'm going to live vicariously through other sim tubers that I'll watch their reviews. You know, I'm just not there yet, so I don't get the cool stuff. But I can watch their videos. I can read up on the specs. I can use my experience to kind of gauge, you know, what we're talking about here. So, I mean, they look, you know, they look kind of cool, especially with those built-in rumble motors they have. I think it was Simicube released their active pedals early in the year. You know, the $2,000 pedals that are completely adjustable in every which way imaginable. So freaking awesome. I would love to get those, to get my hands on those. Oh, that would be so effing cool. Yeah, so now we're like going back weeks. Other than that, there's really not much. We've got some games, or should I say, EA is about to release their WRC game, which is really kind of like a dirt rally sequel. I'm not really a rally fan, so I'm not too excited about it. I'm still waiting on my Rennsport beta key. I never got that, and I applied for a beta code like the day they announced it. I think it was like a Friday. That they were like, oh, the beta's now, you know, we're taking names and emails. And I sent it right away. I still haven't gotten anything. So there's that. There's going to be a Le Mans game, Le Mans Ultimate. That'll be coming up. That looks kind of promising. Automobilista 2, they had their 1.5 patch that released some weeks ago. That was actually pretty good. This game went from almost non-playable for me to extremely playable. I'm like super happy with it. Damn, I've usually done this track a lot faster, but in my non-concentrating chit-chatting ass here. I'm like super slow. So the update to this is nice. R Factor 2, they have a release candidate beta out that they want to test out this new online software that they have called Race Control. It's how they're going to track and maintain their online servers with, you know, driver rating and safety score and all that other good stuff. A lot of the same stuff that iRacing does now, but not paying for iRacing. I've got a love-hate relationship with iRacing, so that is what it is. But I've actually gone ahead and I've played it. I don't know. I'm still having issues with my force feedback settings with R Factor 2. It's like one of the only sims that I seem to really struggle with these settings, and just because it feels like iRacing, super light and like I'm on ice. So I'm still dealing with that. Not all the cars feel like that. The M2 really does feel like that, and it kind of turns me off. The Radical doesn't feel too bad, but I don't know. I still, the wheel feel is too light for me. Oof, I'm locking up these wheels way too much. So there's that. I'm trying to think. I mean, there's always something coming out. Those sims are really, we're all waiting for Assetto Corsa 2. We don't know when that's going to happen. Early in the year, there was the ACC 1.9 update, I think. That was pretty good, but that's already old news. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else. I mean, if there's anything that you guys want to know about, or want to talk about, you know, put it into the comments and I'll get to ya. Either I'll answer you there or I'll do another video. Actually, you know, I can answer a few of the like similar questions that I get often about the PXN v12 DDL direct drive base. You know, I get a lot of questions about, oh, you know, if I load in and it's not, this isn't working, or this is acting weird. 9 times out of 10, all of those issues can be solved if you go ahead and make sure that your firmware is updated. Make sure you update the firmware. After you update the firmware, make sure you pair the wheel to the base. And there we go. Oh, and I need to pit. I have no gas. I wasn't even paying attention. 11. Oh, see, this is what it used to be like. Ooh, that made me super dizzy. So, yeah, a lot of the problems that, you know, people see is that they didn't update the firmware, and also they didn't pair the wheel to the base. Once you've got that squared away, there's really not much else you really need to do to the wheel other than making sure you set it up to your specific sim that you're running. You know, once you save your settings, you save your settings. If you go ahead and you switch back and forth and then repair it, or should I say repair, not repair, but repair the wheel to the base, you may lose your settings, so you may have to redo it. The only sims that I seem to have a problem with, well, R Factor 2, that's me, you know, adjusting the force feedback. You know, that's what I'm trying to sort out. So R Factor 2, I have issues with the force feedback, but that's really the settings. Everything else is good. Forza Horizon on Xbox feels a little weird. I said it doesn't work, but you know, I'm wrong on that one. It does work. but it feels weird. It's a little too twitchy for me, and that I'm pretty sure is settings. I'm more than sure that if I were to go ahead and play with the settings, I can get that squared away. Race Room Evolution, once I change the settings to reverse force feedback, R Factor 2 and Race Room Evolution are reverse force feedback games. So you've got to make sure that you check that off when you're using those two sims to get your wheel to act right. You'll know this when you try to turn the wheel to either left or right and it feels like it just takes it and wants to go, and it just goes all the way and locks into one side. If it goes like this and just stays locked like that, you know it's a reverse force feedback game. Just go into the settings, hit reverse, and you're good to go from there. That's all I had to do with Race Room. With R Factor 2, I had to do that and still play with some of the settings. Let's see what other sims. Automobilista, I didn't have to do anything but go ahead and make sure I haven't used it in a while, so I just made sure my buttons and everything was configured properly. You know, it saw the access for the steering, it saw my pedals. Other than that, everything was good to go. Assetto Corsa, we all know that's the GOAT. You don't ever have to do anything to that game, to that sim. That one is always ready to go. ACC, same deal. I haven't had to do anything other than set my buttons to how I want it configured. That's all I've had to do. You know, I can make this force feedback a little bit tighter. It doesn't feel too loose, but I think it could be better. So yeah, Assetto Corsa, ACC, no issues there. Race Room Evolution, once I hit reverse, we were good to go there. R Factor 2, I'm still playing with that one. What else do I have? Forza, I've already got a video on that with the settings. Forza Motorsport 2023. Forza 7, I actually don't think I've tried. I've got to try that. Forza Horizon, I've already just told you the issues that I was having with that one. Ooh, keep locking up the brakes. I gotta be gentle. I think that's about all the sims. iRacing. iRacing is actually pretty good. I haven't had to change anything other than set my buttons and call it a day. Yeah, guys, I don't know if you've noticed the screen, but how when I'm going at a certain speed, you can see the Toyota Gazoo Racing Brazil kind of just like blur out, give me like that tunnel vision effect. I think it's super cool. You know, it's just me kind of geeking out over it, you know, such a little... The cool thing is, I think Assetto Corsa using CSP does something similar. I had a thing turned on, but it was acting a little weird, so I turned it off. But here, it's just, you know, you change the view and it does, it's super cool. Yeah, other than that, honestly, I can't think of anything else. Any other the questions are, you know, it doesn't work. Like I said, check the firmware, make sure it's updated, make sure you're paired. After that, everything's pretty much good to go. If you watched the video before this one, or if you just watched my 1 month update, I'm loving the, you know, TLDR. I'm loving the wheel base. I'm loving the pedals. I'm loving the wheel. Liking the shifter. I mean, it's a shifter. It is. I usually use the paddles. I honestly, for the money, I think this is great. You know, if one of the other companies wants to send me their hardware to test, I'm more than glad to test it and send it back. Don't need to keep it, because quite honestly, PXN does everything that I want. It leaves me wanting for nothing other than more affordable affordable wheels, you know, custom wheels, and that really I can take care of by either getting from the plethora of manufacturers that make wheels. Wow, why did that turn on? Did I turn on my wipers? Okay, whatever. Oh, I think it's raining. That's why. So, other than the wanting of custom wheels, which they're just expensive, that's the main reason why I don't have any more of them. Yeah, and maybe I'll try my hand at a DIY. You know, 3D print some shells, use an Arduino board and some buttons, and, you know, go to town, maybe get a V-Core, you know, little screen, a 4 or 5 inch touch screen to add in there. I don't know, I'll figure something out. But I always got that. I've always got the Moza wheels that I could add in if I wanted to. The KS wheel with the universal hub, the GS wheel, or I mean they're yokes, they're really yokes. So the KS yoke with the universal hub, the GS yoke with the universal hub, or the FSR yoke with the screen that it has and the universal hub. I can just pop that right on here and I'm good to go. Yeah, I'm loving PXN. I can't complain at all, and I'm gonna sound like a broken record from my other video. We talked about the news, really not much of it. I really didn't get too in depth about it. And this is just me kind of rambling and bumbling on. You know, you'll probably watch the first minute or two of the video, realize it's not, you know, there's not much of anything, and skip it, which is fine because it's okay. You know, this is just kind of like a filler video. This is like my anime. This is my filler episode. This is the Bleach Bout arc. God, if any of you are Bleach fans and watch the anime from back in the day and remember the Bout arc, Jesus, that was painful. That filler was so painful. Oh, it is raining. That's why my wiper's on. Okay, so it's gonna get slippery. So yeah, this is my filler episode. Guys, I really don't have much else other than just driving around this track, which I really enjoy, and I'm not really even doing a good job because I'm talking. So, you know what? I'm gonna shut up for at least a lap, and let's see if I can put down a decent... Let's see if I can get sub-minute. knocking it down. 102.9. Nope, I guess not. Oh well. 102 seemed to be the best that I've got. Alright guys, well, thanks for watching. Don't forget, like, sub, hit the notification bell, and I will catch ya on the next video. Peace.